What's good? Alright, so I'm gonna try and make a point of why you should unashamedly feel good about your progress. Because a lot of guys are actually, once they do have an ability to show off, to just like walk around with a t shirt or something, a lot of guys don't do that because you know, they're ashamed of trying to appear superior or like look better than other people so they wouldn't get hurt. It's such a weird mindset to have because like you've worked for your body and now you're just sabotaging yourself. For what reason? Just to please someone else? Because I had this one similar thing happen to me. It wasn't that I necessarily completely like just stopped wearing more revealing clothes that like t-shirts, bro, normal t-shirts. But it was this weird case of me back in high school in 11th 12th grade. uh, so once I did my little training session, I got all pumped up, and once I went back into the school, I'd go through the quarters, and people would just stare at me, and I'd actually feel good about myself. I kind of hit a PR. I upped the number by a little bit, but some people, would some of them would actually compliment me or something, and others would just like stare weirdly like, oh, why are you showing off, you're such a show off. And obviously me, I noticed these things because I'd actually carry a little shame with myself about that, even though I've worked for years to achieve that sort of physique. So it was kind of weird because you're sabotaging your own sort of feelings, your how you present yourself, everything, just because you don't want to make losers feel bad about themselves, about the decisions they didn't make. So let's say whenever someone tries to put you down for doing something that's like out of the ordinary or for looking it in some sort of way, they're mainly just putting you down because they're projecting their feelings onto you, the feelings of insecurity. They're trying to project them onto you so you feel them. So they wouldn't have to change, right? Instead of getting inspired by that, they project those feelings onto you, and now you're the problem, right? And so in a way, a lot of people actually, that's the reason a lot of guys aren't comfortable with kind of like just showing off their progress. It's because they don't want to stir the fire, right? Stir the fire of mediocre people noticing them. They want to blend in, like, but isn't it one of the reasons you started training, to set yourself apart? Because you don't want to be like, nobody wants to be average, right? It's such an awful position to be in. Like, how can you fucking feel shame, right? Like, it's just social programming. Their judgment only tells more about them than you, because, again, they're projecting their feelings onto you. What they're really saying is, oh, yeah, you're making me feel uncomfortable, so I'm gonna try and, put you down. So you're now the problem, and there's nothing wrong with me, and there's something wrong with you. So you should change something about your behavior, and I shouldn't change anything. And like, you're weird. And while they're saying that inside of their minds, whatever, semi-consciously, right? They're fooling themselves. So sometimes it's like really good to separate yourself from those people by actually doubling down on what you actually are, right? Because, like, why not? You want to be liked by people who don't like the values you aspire to preach, right? So it's like, it's stupid. You can be liked by everyone, and so many guys just feel bad for actually being themselves just so they don't get judged by other people who feel insecure about their presence. So I started getting these feelings of, I do feel comfortable in my skin, but not entirely, because I kind of feel bad or something. I didn't even know the exact reason why, but it was this weird sort of thing where I didn't want to show off or something, but it was just social programming. And it was the kind of social programming that does not separate you from others, so you stay in the same position. And I think if you want to be an exceptional guy, right, you have to be the exception. And the way you become the exception is you act more exceptionally. You separate yourself from the crowd, right? So for those guys who like feel kind of weird in their skin, you know, they don't feel as comfortable, even though they've been training, right? And some people just say, "Oh, you're such a show off," trying to shame you for just like being a normal, like just being yourself. Fuck them, bro. They're projecting their feelings onto you. Like, fuck those retards. Fuck those dorks. So, yeah, understand they're projecting their feelings onto you. They want you to change instead of them getting inspired and changing themselves. And so just fuck them. Double down on it. Just, I don't know, whatever you're doing, whatever it is that makes them mad, just double down on it. It's like, it's the most fun thing to do once you actually get desensitized to all of their bullshit, right? So you just double down on it. And oh, I even forgot to do my wrist curls as I was yapping. But yeah, double down on it.